you've been doing has been primarily story ads.
Right.
And so I wanted to spend a few minutes and review what kind of results you've been getting and share that. But, if we were able to come up with some good suggestions, to share that with the other mentees in the group, and also use this as an opportunity to point everybody to some of the resources and tools that are out there and trainings that are out there that can help outside of the help that I'm able to give.
There you go.
So Maria and Rob, and we are going to review some of the work that you've been doing on your story ads.
Okay.
So let me share my screen now. Okay. So here's your page. And this is your fan page, Work with Maria B.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that we see when we come to this page is a pin post. And the pin post is from October. And it might be a good idea to put a new pin post up there that's more current.
Okay.
So that people wind up on your page that they're seeing current content. I think I'm seeing the page this way because I'm viewing it as an admin. Let me view it as a user. View as page visitor. It's important, by the way, for everybody to realize that you're not viewing your page exactly the way that your visitors are viewing it unless you click on these three dots and you set that so that you can, where'd it go? Somewhere. This is what, here it is. Switch back to your view to manage the page up at the top. So here's your pin post, and then you have a post from April 17th and then February 16th. So if people come to this page, you're doing a story ad. Hey, there's Cindy. You're doing a story ad, and somebody sees your amazing story and they come to your page. Now they have to decide whether they're going to like your page, because that's your goal, right?
Right.
So I think that one thing that would be helpful would be to post content on this page on a daily basis, because you don't have to start with 3 posts a day, which is what Michelle recommends, and even that may have changed now with the way that Facebook is evolving, but at least 1 post a day, so that people, when they look at the page, they see, oh, I'm going to like this page because there's good content on this page, not just because they like your story, right?
Okay.
It's a 2-step process. So that could be affecting your cost per like. I would imagine that it is. But outside of that, let's take a look and see what kind of results you are getting. So to do that, and by the way, whenever you're doing any kind of work on your fan page, you should be doing it from your Facebook Business Manager. And the view in the Business Manager is slightly different than it is in as a Facebook user, and that is that you you see that it's a gray bar up at the top as opposed to a blue bar that you normally see in Facebook. So
this is where, Rob, this is where I'm going to post my daily message.
Correct.
Okay, so then I was posting on the wrong one because I was doing my personal.
Oh, yeah. So this is the page that you're trying to get people to like. And
okay.
They're going to go to when they click on your ad. So yeah, definitely if you've been posting on your personal, that's great because you're in the habit of posting. But in order to make it work for your advertising, you need to move it over to here.
Okay.
So that's one very helpful point. I'll bet a lot of people are doing that. Now, when I click on switch back to your view, it doesn't seem to do anything for some reason. But anyway, this gray bar is the business manager. And so from here, normally if you were in Facebook and you were on your fan page, you wouldn't have this option up here, but this is what it looks like when you're in the business manager. And so for me, what I'm going to do is go to the ads manager. And you can see here that I'm in your account. I'm logged into Facebook as me, but because you've set me up as a partner on your account, I'm able to just get in here. And right now we're looking at the last 30 days. And you're doing good. $2.24 average per lead. And I'm sure that it could be even better. But the fact that you're getting $2.24 a lead when you're not posting much content on the page is impressive. So,
thank you. I have three different under step 21 steps. If you click I have three different
I know.
ads.
I figured that. I'm going to get there. So from here, what we're able to see is that there's these three tabs in the ads manager: the campaigns, the ad sets, and the ads. So sometimes when people come to this page, they see that, oh, there's not a lot happening here, and then they realize that the date settings that they had here was just for today, or it was for last week before they had started running the ads. So this will, by default, I think it comes up to the same date range that you had set most recently, and then you can always change it. So 30 days is good for now, because we do see that there's some good activity in the last 30 days in terms of trying to zero in on what's going on. So the next step would be, there's multiple ways that you can get to the ads as you're talking about. One is that you click here, and as soon as you click on the link in the campaign, it takes you to the ad set. When you click on the link in the ad set, it takes you to the ads. The other way is that you can click here to edit, and it will edit the campaign, and then from there you can toggle between ad sets and ads right here. So as soon as you click down here where it says edit, it opens up this box, and that will open up on whatever you're on. If you're on the campaigns, it'll show the campaign. If you're on the ad set, it'll show the ad set. And if you're on the ads, it'll show the ads. But over here, you have the other two parameters. And there's these three parameters, or these three different sets of settings that have to be set for all ads. There's, what campaign is the ad associated with, what ad set is it associated with, and then on the ad sets, this is really where you're going to do the most testing on the front end to determine who is the audience. This targeting right here is such a powerful element. And the placement is where the ads are going to be shown, and of course the budget and the schedule. But targeting, when you watch the webinars and the trainings, you'll see that that's really what makes the biggest difference in the success of people's campaigns. So if we click on the first of all, as you said, we can already see here from this one campaign, there's 3 ad sets and there's 4 ads. So if we click on the ad sets, because we have them all selected, we're not going to see the details of just one of them over here, so we can unselect 2 of them. But just by looking at the screen, you can see that these are the 3 groups right now that are being targeted. They're all active at the moment. And so when I look here, I see 45 to 65, UK, US, Australia. This is US, CA, I don't know what CA, Canada. UK, Australia. Canada. Okay. And this is, I guess, Wi-Fi Millionaire also. So these are all Wi-Fi Millionaire.
Right.
And this one is slightly different age, but many of the other parameters are the same. So let's take a closer look at the ads themselves. And while I'm zeroing in on this, have you been having your traffic coaching?
Yes, but I haven't. I have to go back and have his to meet with him.
And who is your traffic coach?
It's Wayne Gross.
Okay, Wayne is a good guy. And have you seen? I think that you might have been there live because I heard, unless there's another Maria that he was talking to. But did you happen to see Drew's webinar about a week ago? Is it true?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen.
I'm thinking Drew, but somehow, hold on. So under the Elite Earners trainings, there is so much good content. Because there's 2 of these trainings being held every week, and the people that are doing them are the people that are having success right now. So, but this was the webinar that I was talking about with Matt Heltzel.
Mm-hmm.
And did you ever have Matt as a traffic coach?
No.
And you weren't on this webinar?
No.
Okay. So I would definitely go back, and this is for everybody, go back and watch this, because this is really complementary to any of this story ad training that you've had. And Matt is getting his leads for 89 cents. So the question is, why 89 cents versus, in your case, $2 and some. But we'll dig in a little bit more. So before I go in and look at the ads themselves, I want to see, that was one ad set. Are you using the same 2 ads for all 3 ad sets? No?
Yes. I'm using the same ad for all 3, but I'm just changing the targets.
It doesn't look like you're using the same ad. Actually, it looks like you're using 3 different ads. Maybe you're using the same words, but the pictures are all different.
Well, the reason why I had the different pictures is because I want to make sure that I remember which one goes where. So did you want me to have the same picture for all the ads because it's the same?
Well, it's not what I want you to have. It's what gives you the best cost per lead. So I'm just asking questions at this point, and
okay,
may have chosen this picture because it works better, but the reason that you just gave me is definitely not a reason to use different pictures. Don't use different pictures to keep them organized. All right. So this is interesting, though, because, well, you really can't do an apples-to-apples comparison between these different audiences, but we can just look at them individually. So before we dig in too much farther, we've got an awesome relevance score. We've got a decent cost per result on this one. Okay, let's go back to... And so this is 30, this is this, we'll dig in a minute. If we go to the second one, totally different picture.
Because it's, no, does that, why?
I did not hear the beginning of your question. No, I can't hear you at all. I just see your lips moving.
I'm trying to figure out why it's being that.
Oh my God. Whatever you're doing is
Stop.
making a tremendous amount of noise. It sounds like your mouse is like right next to your microphone somehow.
No, the headset, because I got my speakers on the outside, and I think they're getting into the mic.
Anyway, what was your question?
The non-relevant, the relevant,
Yes.
how is that based?
It's based on the response of your audience to your ad, and the score can be from 1 to 10. So she has a great relevance score on both of these so far. We're going to dig in a minute, and then on this one, we went in reverse order to see what you're running here, but on this ad, there's 2 ads, but you're only running one of them.
Right, because the second one was expensive. So I just paused. I just dated one.
Yeah, let's see what you're saying. If we go back to lifetime, instead of the last 30 days, we'll be able to see. Okay, so you're saying that this one was expensive?
Well, at the time.
At that time?
Yeah, you know what, Rob? I think the problem that I'm having is because I don't understand the whole process. So I'm just trying to go with what I think. And so if I have a good relevance score, it is my luck. And I think, and you know, my story, but I've been trying to check it every day since I learned it from you. But I don't really understand, like I just now look the cost per result, that's what I'm looking at. I didn't know about the relevance score, but I can look at that now.
Well, I think that when I was with you that you had some idea of the relevance score at that time, but if you don't understand the relevance score and you're getting a relevance score of 9 and 10, that's amazing. What it says is that your story is resonating with people. It says that people, when they click on your story and they read your story, that they are taking action. They're actually clicking on a link or they're taking some further action. That's what the relevance score is indicating. So okay. You're on the right track, and you say you don't understand, but you do. You're understanding 90%. You know, it's just the last 10%. It's not the other way around. So
okay.
Hopefully I can help you with that last 10%. Okay. Now, one of the things that you shared with me is that you switched this one off because this one was performing better. And
right.
That may have been true up until a certain point in time. So let's say that we started this ad probably not before January. And let's go until, this is April, so you probably changed it around, let's say the middle of March. Sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to get a date range. Okay, so even at this point,
you know what, Rob? I think maybe what I was looking at is the number of leads that I was getting.
No, this is be consistent. This is what you're looking at. It was cheaper until it wasn't. So,
yeah.
So in March 14th, it was still cheaper.
Okay.
But if we now go to the present, now it's gone up. So that just means that your audience is starting to see, the same ad over and over again. So it's taking more views for people to actually take action on it. So now would be a good time to change to another image.
Okay.
But the fact that you have this relevancy score means that people are taking action when they read your ad. And that just means that they're going and they're looking at your fan page. But I think that you're very close. I think what you need to do is be posting content on your fan page daily. So when people get there, they say, oh yeah, she's pretty cool. They're not going to find your personal page when they get to your fan page, right?
Okay, so, right.
So I think that that's going to bring your costs down significantly.
Okay.
And the other thing that I'm seeing here is it's really powerful to realize that you made your decision at a certain point in time for a good reason, but it doesn't stay. The one thing that we know is that over time there's I forget the word people use, but but ads that were working stop working, and that's why you're continually testing. And we're seeing that here. What was costing $1.75 with a good amount of data, by the way, right? Maybe already ramped it up. In fact, let's take it from February 1st to March 1st and see. And this would be helpful, also worthwhile for you to track the time periods that you're running these ads and see.
Oh, okay.
So here, you hadn't gotten any leads yet after spending $100. By March 1st, you hadn't gotten any leads. So that's interesting. But it says $1.68 per lead. Wait a minute, what's going on here? February 1st to March 1st. Oh, I see. It was the other ad sets that were converting from February 1st to March 1st. So this ad set wasn't converting at all. So let's change the date range and we'll look from, from March 1st. From March 1st until April 1st. And now, if we go to the ads, and here you weren't running this one at all.
Right.
Okay, let me take a look at February 1st to April 1st. And so by April 1st, the cost had started to be a little bit higher. Than it had been to get these first 10 leads. But anyway, you get the idea. It's something that if you're tracking it on a daily basis and you know what your cost was for the one that you turned off, as soon as you get to that point where you're no longer cheaper than that, then you definitely should be looking at changing the ad.
Changing the story or changing the picture?
No, changing the picture.
Okay.
And this guy Matt said that once he got this ad working, that he basically was able to run. He's been running the same ad for months, for many months. So once you get, you've got a great relevance score, now you've got to get it down to a better cost per result, which may be, I think you can definitely make better images without a whole lot of effort, and that you can compare. But I think that the biggest difference is going to come from having good content on your fan page.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a little congested. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Hi, Cindy.
I had to unmute myself real quick.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
I can. Yes, I can.
It's not feedbacking now. That's good.
Yeah.
I want to tell Rob that flashing is going on the recording.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. How it's causing.
Well, your mic still sounds like there's a lot of feedback. Okay, so I'm unmuted. So let's dig in a little bit farther. But by the way, this is fantastic, and I'm pretty confident that you can get this down to closer to $1 per lead once you have content on that fan page without doing a lot more. But the only other thing to test is to have 2 or 3 different images, and not just so that you can differentiate your ad sets, but make the ad, if you're going to think about the target of each ad set being different, then it is possible that your images might be different based on a different age or a different demographic. But let's go back to the ad sets for a minute. They're all getting 9 or 10 relevance scores, but how did you zero in on these demographics? Let's look at one at a time. So this one here, we're going to go in. I'm sorry. I want to go into the ad set. So I click on the edit button here. And so here's what we've got. Australia, UK, US, small business owner, AARP, small business Saturday. So how did you zero in on these interests?
Based on my avatar, the avatar that I had written had to do with retired people. They want to work from home, and maybe small business owners. And I looked at this because I wanted to, it was an educational tool. I was trying to target the ones that might be interested.
Okay. Well, I like that. I think that the only thing that you're missing here is that by combining together Australia, UK, and US, and by combining together people that have all these different interests, you're not determining which of those particular people is responding and which isn't. And so you might be paying more for your advertising because some segment of this group is not responding and some segment is. And so what you'll hear from most of the people that are doing Facebook advertising is that that's where your ad set where you want to test multiple different ad sets. And each ad set ideally is just one particular segment. So if
Rob, what happens, okay, if I use only one, but then my reach is less than 500,000, because that was what I was instructed when I was first putting the ad up, is that I should be between 500,000 to 1 million. So if I don't have it 500, how am I going to get that reach?
That is, I think that's something that you're not going to know until you actually test it. The reach will come with it for a smaller, more targeted audience. Some audiences will be cheap to reach and some will be very expensive. So what you want to find out is where you can improve your cost per result. But I hear what you're saying. What is the right size for an audience? And for Facebook likes versus for advertising selling a product, it may be different. But what is the audience size that you were targeting here? Let's take a look.
I was instructed that between 500 to 1 million.
Okay.
But that was what I was trying to get at. So if I were just to target one, some of them don't even go up to 500. Isn't that going to be more expensive?
Well, it may be that the ones that don't have 500,000 that you don't try initially. But let's see. We're on the ad. We have to go to the ad set. Okay, so 650,000 is the number here. And that is with all of these different interests. So yeah, this is a saved audience that you had. I won't save anything, but let's just take a look at what happens as we modify this. Okay, so you're still at 670,000. that's weird. It's actually a larger audience than we've got over here. So this is just the US, everyone. Okay, so the different groups that you're targeting, business marketing, and these are people have to like at least one of these things. So that's a small group. So, here's one that you could test on its own. But you're right. I think that the smaller segments you have to combine with other things. But if you can start with bigger segments like this and test them on their own, it'll give you really powerful information.
Okay.
And then as far as testing smaller audiences, I know that there's some benefits for a very targeted, segmented audience that most people are not focused on advertising to, that you can get very good pricing. So I know that once you have done your initial testing, it's good to have both a combination of small, very targeted audiences and then broader audiences that are over 500K. But
Okay, Rob.
Yes.
When my coach Travis was the one that helped me post my first one. So he was saying that generally the location is the main one: Australia, United Kingdom, United States, Canada. So that's the reason why I chose that.
Yes.
Does it have to be there, or are they the biggest market?
Well, those are the tier 1 markets. Australia, UK, US, Canada they tend to have the most qualified buyers, but that's the main reason. But combining them all together is you're going to get the average price for all 3 countries. So it's better to have those as separate ad sets. Run the ad set to Australia, run an ad set to the UK, run an ad set to the US they can be all the same ad, so it's not really more work for you. But the idea is that if you can run 10 or 15 ad sets and you see which ones you're getting for under $1 per lead versus the ones that are costing you $2 per lead, that can give you a dramatic improvement.
But okay, so if I have one targeted area, and then can I keep my audience the same number, or do I still have to keep it like single or two groups? That's what I'm trying. That's what I can't understand, because let's say if I chose United States,
yeah.
So if I would go to my audience, will I have to just stay? Let's say that 660,000, which is the small business group Saturday. Do I just have one, or can I have several, like I do have now, but testing only the location?
Yeah, you can have for each ad set. The ad set is what is where you specify the location, and then for each of those ad sets, you can have multiple ads that you're testing. And in addition to the location, you've got these other characteristics. And so what you want to look at is that you're not competing with yourself, because if these 3 ad sets are overlapping, then you're basically competing with yourself. Who's going to pay more to get in front of these people? Is it this ad set or this ad set? But either way, it's coming from you. So let's just go in here again to the ad sets. Oops. Go to the ad sets. And the specific results you can get for each ad set here by clicking on View Charts. We'll do that in a second.
Right.
Okay, so I'm not sure if I answered your question, but if you take this, for example, and you duplicate this, which you can do from up here, you can duplicate it. And then you can go in and just you edit the audience from here, because you're from a saved audience. But now if you just eliminate one parameter, like you make it just Australia,
Yes.
then everything else can be the same.
I see. Now, do I keep the same picture, or do I change pictures or images? Like what you were talking about at the beginning.
Yeah. So now that you've gotten to a point where you've got a high relevancy score and you know that this audience converts, the idea is to test pictures. The words are working very well. The image can make a big difference now, because what you want is to get people's attention in that one instant as they're scrolling through their news feed. What is it that's going to grab their attention? Obviously, what you're seeing with the relevancy score of 10 is that when you do grab their attention, that they click, they read it, and then they click on the link. That's awesome. What you want is for them to stop more often, right, to actually notice you. So what images can you use that will make people notice you? And then, and in fact, in the webinar that was done by Natalie and Mark right here, it's a father and daughter team. He talks a lot about how important the images are in that ad. So I can't emphasize enough how powerful these are, because these are being posted twice a week, and there's a lot of good ones on Facebook, both for selling the 21-step program through Facebook, which Matt does both 21-step and I Am Freedom workshops, using a story ad. The story ad engages them, and at the end of the story ad, you basically get them to come and either watch the 20-minute video or to sign up for the 2-hour free workshop. So, yeah, I think that testing images with your story, I don't think you need to make many changes to your story right now with the relevance score that you're getting, but start with changing images and posting content on your fan page.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about follow-up for a second.
Okay.
You told me, or you said, was it maybe to Cindy?
And to you too, and Cindy. And part of that was having difficulty with the follow-up. And a lot of it has to do with me. I'm not blaming anybody else but myself. But I did lose a lot of interest at one point, because I think there was so much that I had to learn that I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what kind of content that I needed to put in. But then I have been reading about copyrights and all kinds of different ideas, or like story brand, and realizing about the importance of teaching in a way, sharing my thoughts about some things that they might find interesting. So I'm working on that. And I'm having problem with the drag and drop in Aweber, which I could talk to you about later, or someone. But anyway, yeah, so that's my issue.
Well, we can spend a few minutes on Aweber, but let's take a look. So the fact that you were feeling a little lost on what kind of content to be posting, I think that's a common issue that people have. Matt actually talks in this webinar, he talks about at the very end of his webinar, he makes some good recommendations for books on copywriting, but you said that you've started to kind of figure it out, and you've been posting on your personal page.
Yeah.
So let me take a look.
Actually,
not this page. You have another
no.
page?
Yeah. Because I have another one.
What's the other one?
Cora Buno. That one.
And what you can do is you can share, you can take the post if you've been working hard on posts for your personal page and putting them here accidentally, then
Okay.
you can share them with your fan page or you can just
Okay.
post them on your fan page.
Okay.
Yeah, so there you go. You know, things like this, and you know, I would say, I remember I actually saw this one. So, you know, keep the personal stuff on this page, and then the business lessons that you're learning and the kind of message that you have at the top of the page is the things that you're really looking to share on your fan page.
Okay.
And you want people to see the link to your fan page right here. like if we go to my page. What's going on? That's not what I wanted to do. A lot of times I'll go to people's personal page and I'll find their fan page there. So like my fan page. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just in the about section of your personal page. So then your friends that have some interest in what you're doing for business, they don't have to see your ad. They can find it right from there. Okay, going back to the business manager, let's take a look at some of the data. Have you checked? It looks like all of your ads right now, follow-ups that I would recommend is to make sure that your ads are not overlapping audiences. And then for the audiences that you're running the ads to, we want to zero in on the on what is actually working. So that's where, without going as far as using Google Analytics, why is my screen drawing so slow? There we go. We can view the charts in here. And have you noticed on your leads whether it's predominantly female or male?
Female. It's predominantly female.
Okay. So here we're looking at it from the beginning. Average of $1.86. But if we zoom in and look at the demographics, look what we got. That's significant.
No. Okay, yeah, it is because it's for all gender. So I didn't specifically say women or female. So that's what I'm noticing, and it might be because of the choices that I've made on the target audience. I don't know, but I've noticed in all of the ones that I have posted there, and I look at the demographics, it seems to be mostly women, and between the ages of 35 to 65 plus.
Yeah. So what this is showing us on the left side is women, and on the right side is men.
Right.
And as we mouse over each of these, in this age of 35 to 44, where's 5% of your leads and 11% of your reach. So you would want that for a certain percentage of your reach, that you would get a similar percentage of response. In the case of 55 to 64, it's 38% of your reach, but 40% of your leads, and your price, does your price reflect it? So your price is cheaper than it is here.
Mm-hmm.
You can see here the price is $233, $241,
Yes. Yeah.
$193, $117.
So when I look at this, Rob, then should I then update the age group because it's so high on the 35 to 44, or and start it with, let's say, 45 instead of 35?
Well, this is, so this is good and useful data. It tells us about your cost per leads, but what we don't know is how this transfers forward into your cost per conversion, cost per buyer. So, you know, what you're seeing is that it's the cheapest cost for 65 and over, but we don't know at this point whether 65 and over is taking the next step and what their response is there. But we're seeing that for only 15% of the reach, you're getting 32% of your leads, and that's why your cost is so low, right? People are responding very well. For a small percentage, you're getting a high percentage. So what I would say based on this is that your cost per result for men, no results until we get to this age, as 1%, 2% of the reach, 1% of the leads, 2% of the reach, 0% of the leads, and then 1%, 0. So I would stop targeting men.
Yeah.
And then I would segment the women into different groups, because what you're seeing is that on the lower age group that the response is not as high. So you want to separate them out and see if you can improve that with them, maybe with different images, maybe with a slightly different story that somehow could appeal to a younger demographic. And, you know, it's not surprising that younger people wouldn't necessarily relate to you with the same exact story. But so you might want to change your story a little bit that talks about, you know, how you felt at their age, or, you know, thinking about your niece and nephew and what they're going through and how you can relate to, you know, younger people. And I think that could help your cost per lead here. But it's really not bad. You're doing very well considering that you're posting very little content on your site right now. So you're getting leads, and hopefully these leads are going into your AWeber.
Yes, they are.
So now you've got all these leads on one list in AWeber?
Yes.
Okay. So
before you leave that, I just want to make sure. So the thing that's holding me back in terms of testing, because I just kept it at 3, is of course the budget. Because each time you do a different test, you have to pay, like you have a budget. Like I was using $5 per ad set. So if I have several, then that would mean it would go, instead of $15 a day, it can go up to $20 or $25 a day if I have that many tests.
You don't have to test them all at the same time. So you could, if you want to keep your budget at $15 a day, you could test 3 for a week,
okay,
test 3 more for a week, and then just switch them so that you're keeping to your total budget.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So I know it seems like we're just getting started, but I have another meeting shortly. So let's take a quick look at your AWeber and see if I can give you some guidance there. And we can meet separately. Cindy can also help you. The drag and drop in AWeber is very similar to the drag and drop in ClickFunnels. So I probably should let you show me what you're having trouble with. But let's take a quick look. Okay, so this is the list, the Wi-Fi Millionaire, that everybody is getting onto. So if we look at manage subscribers, you can see they should all be on this list. That's beautiful. So you got 1,658. You can see that some of these have unsubscribed.
Right.
So currently, if we only show currently subscribed.
Well, the first one was from M.O.B.E. She was the one that was testing it. She made my funnel, Erica.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know, you can just use these filters. So currently subscribed is a good number, almost 1,500, and that's awesome. So if we now take a look at the messages that are associated with this list, this is them. And he sent out so you are sending out these messages, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and 32% open rate is amazing. Really good. Really good. Okay. So let's just, without digging into the spam score on this, let's take a look at the kind of issue that you're talking about with just drag and drop and editing. Okay.
This was from,
Go ahead.
okay. No, I was just going to say that this legacy series is the one that with Justin, you know, how they gave you a code and then it automatically loads the 7 days.
Yeah.
So these are the ones that I just loaded. So they are not necessarily mine. I updated it or edited it to be more like what I would say.
Right. Yeah. So this is a good place to start because it's kind of like a template. Let's say that if you wanted to create a brand new series, you could say, well, this is a good series, so let me see how this is done, and I can ask questions based on this. So Cindy, can you let Susan know that we're running a few minutes late? Just to give you a little bit of an overview. When you created this, when you click on any link that's in your message, or if there's an image or anything else that's in your message, it opens up a box
Right.
to the right, and that has all the characteristics of that particular link. So,
Right.
So you're familiar with that?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so if you want to add in an image, let's say you want to add in a button into this text somewhere, you can't, because this is a self-contained box that has a beginning and an end. So you can only add things at the end of it. So if you see, we're at the beginning, you see the blue bar?
Yes.
And so now the button is there. And now you can customize the button using this information.
So in other words, I really can't, I can't copy and paste from another document. That was what was happening to me because from another document I had a image of a inspirational saying, and I had copied it, I pasted it on the drag and drop, and then I ended up with all kinds of stuff. I mean, obviously, I think that's what's happening. So I would have to do it from the image and then select my own image while I'm in there. I think that's what I have to do.
I'll give you an example. And, just create something that I'm going to share with you the final 2 lessons. So go back and watch those previous 2 days. Sorry, I'm not trying to do this, I promise. I just want to be able to use any random image that I have. And for 21 students, I started by talking about let me go to your page. Okay, so I'm just doing this just as an example. So let's just say that you wanted to copy this image and this text. Okay, this text. Basically what you have to do is you just have to take all the words separate from the pictures. So you take this and you go down here and let's add a paragraph. So we'll drag a new paragraph to the bottom and we're going to paste those words in there. And now we go back here and we want to copy this image. So right copy, copy image address. Then we go back here and we say add an image. So an image is separate.
Oh, okay. I think I I think that was what I did wrong.
And now we put in that image link right here. I didn't like that. That's not the image link. Say,
Rob,
yeah.
do you want to postpone till tomorrow's?
No.
Okay, because she just got in from her flight.
Okay. Well, if she doesn't have time today, then we can do it tomorrow, or if she wants to do it in an hour, that's okay also. Okay, so I just saved it, and now if we upload it, Cindy, can you mute yourself? Oh, I think it might have been Maria this time. Anyway, you're both muted, but you can unmute yourselves. So this is the test image that I just saved, and now I'm just uploading it. And there it is.
Oh,
Okay, now when I click on it, I've got all the characteristics there, and you can actually change the size. You can either drag it that way, or you can change the size over here. And you can left justify it. Okay. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, yes.
Yeah, images and text have to be separated, and
Okay.
then the drag and drop works fine.
Okay. I think that was where my problem was. I was trying to put everything under the same, like under paragraph, instead of looking for an image, dragging the image icon down and then uploading that image. I was just copying the whole thing. So that was causing the problem. I think I know what I did wrong.
Well, now you can make some good progress, and
yeah,
if you
I learned a lot today, I have to say, Rob.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back and do all that stuff before I forget it.
Do as much as you can, and as you're doing it, you can make notes, and you can use that information to help people who get into business with you.
Yeah, and by the way, last April 1st, I did get a $1,300 commission.
Hey, congratulations!
I know. I was so excited. It was a happy Easter day for me.
Yeah. So that was somebody went silver. Fantastic.
Right.
So that was April 1st. That means there's a good chance you got to get them to the supercharge.
Yes.
The silver has a good chance to continue. 1 out of 3 of them go titanium.
Right. So there's a couple I'm waiting for. So let's hope. I'm trying to give them. I'm contacting them and trying to encourage them, and so forth.
Yeah. So the one thing that you can do is, as you start to update your fan page, you can tell your readers that you're still learning, and that you were posting a lot of content, but you're posting it on your personal page, and you're going to start becoming much more active on your fan page.
Okay.
So,
okay.
All right. I think
Thank you.
Hopefully this will get you the next step, and I think that with the people on your list, you've got other opportunities also to, with those 1,500 people, to figure out which ones live near locations where there's the I Am Freedom workshops. And if they haven't already got the 21 steps, then you can let them know, reach out to them and let them know that there's the event coming to their local area.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. All right. Good luck with that. And let's speak soon, especially to share either your progress or any new challenges that you have.
Okay. Thanks, Rob and Cindy.
Have a great day.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
I don't know how to turn it off.
I unmuted Cindy so she could say goodbye. Bye. Oh.
Okay. There we
Can
go.
you hear me?
There you
Yeah.
are.
Nope.
Now
I can hear you.
I'm trying so it won't make noise in the feedback.
now it's perfect. Now that we're ending.
Okay. Well, I am, but yeah, I'm waiting for her to respond so we can see if she wants to join.
Well, Maria's gone, but whatever
Okay.
you're doing right now, that's what you need to do in the future.
Well, see, I have speakers. Lewis put me up some speakers now, and it was feedbacking off of this mic. But
That's
maybe,
right. No,
but if I feed it, put my hand here, maybe that would help.
well, no, just turn the speakers off when you're using your headset.
Well, the problem is I can't hear you right now because it's not letting me hear you through the headset.
Well, that's a setting that you have on Skype that you need to change. So you've got your audio out going to your speakers instead of to your headset.
Yeah, he put it as a default because you had to do one as a default or the other.
Well,
But I don't understand why the microphone's working because it shouldn't be working.
see my
All
screen?
right, but you're going to.
Can you take a look at my screen?
I am looking at it right now.
So you see tools, options.
Yeah. I'm on it. I know.
Yeah. You know.
Okay. But
So-
we're not on Skype. We're on Zoom.
That's true. What am I talking about?
That's what I was wondering. It's good to know that the teacher.
No.
I was going to say, why are we on Skype? We're on
Okay.
Zoom.
So on Zoom, yeah, I apologize. But on Zoom, on the right-hand side, there's those three buttons. It says More, and then there's Audio Options.
Yeah, I went to that. Audio options. I'm on it.
Test computer, mic, and speakers.
Yeah, and I did do that. And the thing is that my mic worked here. See, I have a mic on my camera.
I
So
know we all have multiple mics. That's why I'm telling you this is how you do it. So you see where it says this is the speaker, and I have a headset plugged in right now, but you do. So you should have multiple choices, and you pull down the correct one for your headset. And the same thing here. You've got multiple choices, and you have to just change it manually when you go using different programs, and that should do it.
Well, the problem is it says test speaker, which is the speaker's fine on my speaker outside,
So
but it's not working on the headset. See,
that's because test speaker is when you've got it set up, you test it. What I'm saying is you have to use this, and you have to set it to your headset. Right now it's set, the speaker is not set to your headset.
aha, I got it. We got it. Bingo!
Yay.
Yay! That's good. Now I've got it. So now I can just turn off the speaker off there. Okay. Yeah, I was playing around with it because he had put it as a default, but I can control it even though it's a default on the speaker, right?
That's right. Default is good,
No.
that you want to be able to override the default. Now you can't hear me anymore?
Yeah, I can now because I thought I was knocking the speaker off, but it was off the headset, but I'm fine. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
I got it. All right. Well, good. This is cool. She has not responded back. She basically said, I've been traveling all day not got anything new to report, so happy to postpone unless Rob has something urgent. I will ask him in a second. She said, okay. Then I said, he would like to talk. Can you be available in an hour from now? She hadn't responded.
Yeah,
I said,
no, it's not. I didn't know that she had said that, so it's not urgent. But I did. We can just tell her to take a look at this. I've been updating this document, which is
says not urgent.
I've been working on the customer journey.
Are you going to try to talk to Dennis after 6 tonight? Rob says not urgent. Take a look at document. I saw your document with the notes of everything you were talking about yesterday. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, but I've been working on it this morning.
Okay, cool. Take a look at the new document.
No, it's not new, but
Well,
it's the page. It's the page called Customer Journey Input.
okay.
Here. This is the only page that I've been working on.
Customer journey. Now, why am I feedbacking now? Take a look at customer journey. DOS. Have you stopped the recording?
not docs. It's the customer journey input page of the .com Business Center action items.
Oh, you're talking about on Facebook.
No, I'm not talking about Facebook.
All right. I noticed somebody updated the one on Facebook.
What are you talking about?
By the way, you're still recording. This is Google Docs.